Welcome back, everybody. May is National Stop the Bleed Month, meant to empower communities to learn basic life-saving bleeding controlled techniques. And today, KVUE Midday brought in the experts for a first-hand demonstration. We've got ATC EMS Captain Krista Stedman joining us first. We're going to talk to another captain in just a moment with Jenny over there. But first, let's talk about stopping the bleed. We know it stopped when someone's bleeding. Stop it. What does that really mean, though, to save a life?
Yeah, so when we have big incidents, like for example the Pulse nightclub shooting that happened in Florida a few years back, what we found is there have been multiple people whose lives could have been saved by very simple bleeding control measures. So Stop the Bleed is a quick, easy course that anybody can take, and it can teach our neighbors and our coworkers to be what we call immediate responders, so that they can jump into action and help save lives before we even get on scene. And
that's the thing, because first responders are going to take several minutes to get there, and by that point you could be bled out already, right?
Sure, yeah.
All right, so we're going to talk about tourniquets first, is that right? Or are we going to try something different first?
Yeah, so we're going to talk about a few things. We're going to do a quick anatomy lesson first, just for the sake of being brief. Okay. So we're going to talk about extremity injuries. So you can bleed out very quickly from two very large vessels in your arms and your legs. So you have your brachial artery, which is right here in between the muscles. Okay. And that's sort of the upper extremity culprit that you can bleed out from. And then you have your femoral artery that runs all the way down your leg, right? Two really big vessels. So the main things that when we have any sort of injury that insults one of these vessels or anything past it, we want to make sure that we are trying to stop the flow of blood, right? So the first thing that we can do is what we call direct pressure. And that's exactly what it sounds like. So if you're bleeding from right here, you grab whatever you have, a t-shirt, some gauze, you smash it in there and try to get it to stop. Now, if that doesn't work, you can go up to where those vessels are, very high up in the arm or the leg, and you can put a lot of direct pressure there. Now, if you are treating somebody that has an injury like this and all you have is direct pressure, you're kind of married to that person until we get there. Right. And that's when we start to talk about tourniquets. Okay. So the first thing that I want to point out about tourniquets is, if you get one out of your Stop the Bleed kit, is take it out of the cellophane. Okay. Because it's not going to be fun to be messing around with cellophane while you're trying to do this, right? So I've got one here, so we'll do a little demonstration on you. All right. So the main take home with tourniquets is to put them high and tight, right? Okay. The goal is to only have to put it on once and get it as tight as you possibly can that first time. And that's going to stop any bleeding past where the tourniquet's applied. So
I get an injury here, let's say I'm doing woodworking and I get a saw coming right across here, and I can't stop it, what do you do? Yep,
so it doesn't matter where on the arm the injury is, you want to get that tourniquet as high up as you possibly can. Okay. So can I have you?
Sure, well this arm's fine.
Okay. So we're going to slip the tourniquet on like this. We want to be pulling towards ourselves, so I'm not trying to pull and punch you in the chest. So this first pull right here is where I'm going to get most of my strength. So I'm going to pull as hard as I can, wrap that around. And then this is called the windlass. And this is what we use to just crank that down. And this is not going to be comfortable. It's going to hurt, but I'm trying to help you.
Are you trying to help me?
I am trying to help you. So that's going to stay there. And what you should feel is you should start to feel this arm. You're going to feel it get a little tingly. Yeah. And you should start to actually see the loss of color. But most importantly, you should see the bleeding stop.
Right. And how long do you have to take this off before you lose your arm?
So tourniquets can stay on for up to 8 hours. It's sort of been an old wives' tale, not old wives' tale. Previously thought that we would only want to leave them on for an hour or so. But what we've learned over the last decade or so is that it's safe up to 8 hours.
So I can go run a marathon with this on right now?
I wouldn't recommend it, but you could.
Well, if you can't do the tourniquet, though, there are other things you can do, right? Jenny, you're going to send it over to you to another captain.
Thank you, Rob. Captain Shannon Coaster is one of the reasons for the relaunch of Austin Travis County EMS Stop the Bleed program. Thank you so much for being here. Give us a little history of what was the genesis of this training, and what were first responders seeing at the time?
Sure. So in 2022, I was assigned to our academy, and I had a hallway conversation with an AFD firefighter, specialist Kevin Carollo. Myself and Kevin are members of the queer community, and we had seen that there was a large shooting in Colorado. So we decided to reach out to that community, our community, to see if they wanted any training. There's a large national program through Stop the Bleed, so we used their model to relaunch our program. We started with communities experiencing violence in any areas that may have increased levels of violence, and started reaching out, and we have been training in the downtown entertainment district, all their staff members and stuff on Stop the Bleed. And
Bars,
anybody,
restaurants,
churches, yes, all over the place.
anybody who asks.
Anybody who
actually.
asks, we have taught. Yep.
And so, how many lives do you think this program nationally has saved so far?
Yeah, this is a very large national program that was started by the American College of Surgeons, and they estimate about 4 million people have been trained through this program. So why we don't have numbers of how many lives this has affected, we're assuming that with the force multiplier of that many people trained, there's a large number of people.
And let's just reiterate, just like how quickly can someone die from blood loss? Why is this program important?
Sure, yeah. In a large vessel injury, you can bleed out within 3 to 5 minutes. Okay. And even if you're the fastest 911 dialer and we are ready and we're right around the corner, that's still a significant amount of time that somebody can be doing things to help mitigate that loss of blood and that loss of life.
So how much time can a civilian buy by implicating this, or starting this, sorry?
Yeah, starting this, you can stop the hemorrhage completely externally. And as Krista was saying, Captain Stedman, with the tourniquet on up to 8 hours, which in the city of Austin, you should not have a tourniquet on for 8 hours,
right.
But that gets you to the hospital safely and alive and conscious, and the surgeons can do the rest of the work.
And we've run out of time, but I need to get this out. When is the next chance for this Stop the Bleed training for the public?
So you can email stopthebleed@austintexas.gov with your group, and we will schedule it. So
it's free, everybody.
Yes, it's free. So we continue to just go based on these groups that email us.
Captain Coaster, thank you so much for
no
joining
problem.
us.
Thank
Captain
you.
Stedman over there, we appreciate everyone from Austin Travis County EMS.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.